What's up guys, TC here and welcome back to Starbound Nightly. Tonight I've got something truly epic to show you guys that's just popped in. In Starbound we have functioning elevators. They were just added last night. There's actually two variety. There's actually a long one and a short one, which I'm going to take you down here to my new little testing area and kind of demonstrate how they work. So, what you just saw was the long variant. As you can see, it ends right here and goes all the way down to here. And over here, this is the short variant. I'm going to be using the short variant as a demonstration. So, excuse me, by their default, so these are all attached to wires. When you place these objects, just by default, without any without any wiring, they just go up and down. You see, so they'll just continue to be that way. They won't stop. However, when you attach them to something, what you're going to find out, so now this one here is in the on position, right? So if we turn this on, it's going to go up, right? So basically, I'm sorry, it was in the on, we turned it off. So in the off position, it's always at the top, and in the on position, it's always at the bottom. Now this one here is the exact same thing, but we have it inverted with a NOT gate, right? So it's just going to be the opposite of that. So here, we turn it off and it comes down. We turn it back on, it's going to go to the top. Now, this next bit here, this is what I think most people are going to use these for. And all it is I have a button rigged up to a countdown timer. I have it set at 3 seconds because that works pretty well for these short ones. And what this means is it's going to go to the top and stay there for 3 seconds, and it's going to go back down. So for instance, if I wanted to go up to, say a floor was up here, I'd hit this button, it would take me up, I would walk off, and as you can see, it's going to go back down on its own here in just a second. So they're very, very useful. They move all entities. They will not move like blocks or anything. You can't like place blocks on top of them. You can't place like an object on them like a chest. It doesn't move stuff like that. They fit. Basically, think of this rail as like it has to have a background. So you're placing this onto something on the background, and then the lift here is kind of the part that's in the foreground. So you really can't have anything overlapping here. Now the cool thing about these is that they actually pop you up when the player kind of interacts with them. So you'll see like, let's give a demonstration here. So this one here, I'm using a combination. See how these two I had inverted, right? And then I had the call button one over here where it has the countdown timer. So here I have two of them using a 5-second timer. This one's inverted and the one at the top is not. And what you're going to see is that when I get near the top one, it's actually going to pop me up automatically. See? And after a couple seconds, it's going to continue to bring me up. And it's going to go to the top and it's going to stay there. And so, and all this is using is, let's pull it up real quick. There we go, all down here. So you see the wiring, super simple. This, the button here goes to a 5-second timer. The 5-second timer connects to the top elevator. The 5-second timer also connects to a NOT gate here, and that NOT gate connects down here. So all these are the same thing, just the bottom one's inverted and the top one's not. So that way they meet in the middle. Now next up we have quite a few new weapons, and so let's head in here and I'm going to show these off. And so you guys remember me talking last week about how I was kind of giving hammers a bunch of shit because they were sucking, right? And so I think they might have heard me because the hammers have some really cool abilities right now. They got quite a bit of addition added onto them. So the first one here we have is an energy field, right? And these are basically whenever something comes in contact with you like close, it takes like a constant little beat of damage. And we have one for every element. Here's the poison, and here's the fire. Now you cannot have more than one active at once, so if you try to switch and turn on another one, the first one will just go away. So let's spawn in a monster really quick here, and I'll kind of give you an idea. So as you can see, he just takes constant damage, and it's actually not that expensive to use either. And so the way I see this being like a usable thing is, it's kind of like, okay, if you get into a heated combat and you've got several guys, you know, you're surrounded, this is a good way to kind of just deal out additional damage, even with someone you're not fighting. So it's like, say you're beating up a guy here, and there's a guy behind you wailing in on you. He's also taking damage, while the guy in front of you is also taking extra damage from the little energy field. Now another one we got here, this is a generic one. This one's not elemental, but and it's actually one of the more useful, really. It's on the common hammers, and it's a like pop up and slam. And this is a lot like that sword spike down. However, this one is, in my opinion, way better, because it's got an explosion on it, and it's just like way wider. Now the sword one, you bounce off of enemies. This one here, it's just like, it's way easier to land it, and it does way more damage. Like, not only it's like easier to hit them because it's got a wider hitbox, but then it's got an explosion on it, which even furthers the damage range on it. So very, very useful in my opinion. The other one that we've gotten for the hammers now, and this seems to be a very common theme, You guys have seen it on the spears and you saw it on the swords, and now it's on the hammers as well. So it's the teleport ability. So essentially, whatever direction you're facing, it's going to teleport you a set number of blocks forwards. Again, this is not like guidable, so it's not going to go where my mouse cursor is. It's going to automatically bring me about this distance where my mouse is now, but it doesn't matter where my mouse is. It's just going to bring me that set number of blocks. And of course, we have this for every element. So it seems to me that every weapon type is going to have this. Now, we haven't seen the axes yet, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that the axes are going to get that ability too. So let's put these away, and I'm going to pull out the other bit. We actually have more, believe it or not. So here we go. So the next one we have is, okay, so this is interesting. This is a very, very strange ability, and it feels a little weird. So it looks like some kind of blink ability, and what I don't like is it doesn't, it's got a range to it. So essentially, I right-click, and here's where my mouse is, and I actually teleport to my mouse, slash, and teleport back. And at first glance, it seems like a pretty good ability, but what I don't like about it is it's kind of hard to tell where the range of this is. So I'm going to actually hop out here to give you an idea. There's not really a reference point there. So if I'm standing right here under the melee container, right, where my mouse is right now between these two other containers, this is about the maximum range you're going to get. So if we right-click, that's about as far as you go. And if I put my mouse way over here by the danger sign, you're going to see I don't go any further, right? Now you can go up a little bit. So like if I put it up here, I actually pop up in the air, but it kind of bugs out a bit if you do it too close. Like, see how this is like really close by and up? It just doesn't do anything. So if we go out to about here, it'll start working. And even still, it's kind of strange. It's got like a really, really weird like conical range to it. It's pretty cool. To me, it feels buggy, like it's not complete, but we'll see. And the very last one we have here is another common sword, and I actually really love this one. It's like a helicopter type move. The player actually like starts levitating from this attack, and now it does take a lot of energy, so you can't hold it. But like in admin mode, you could do this all day. Like since there's no limit on energy, you can just do this all the time. I could see this being useful for like reducing fall damage. You'd have to time it really well, because it doesn't exactly like, you know, it doesn't completely stop you immediately, but you could definitely use this to slow your descent. They might have to work on the energy a little bit. It seems a little bit expensive. Like, you can't do it more than, like, let's pull it off here. So here we do it. That's it. Like, that was in survival mode. Yeah, so you really don't have much time to use it, so you've got to make very good use out of it. So anyways, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.